The city was
This
still
ends
asleep.
now.
The tall glass building stood quiet under the dark sky. Only a few lights were on. Inside the building, one woman was working silently. Her name was Angela. She pushed her cleaning cart slowly across the shiny floor. The sound of the wheels echoed in the empty hallway. She was tired, but she did not stop. She never did. Angela worked as a janitor in one of the biggest companies in the city. Every night, while others slept, she cleaned offices, meeting rooms, and hallways. She was not just tired from work. She was tired from life. Angela was a black single mother. Her husband had died in a road accident 5 years ago. Since that day, her life had changed forever. Now, everything depended on her. Her young son Marcus was only 8 years old. He was smart, kind, and full of questions. Every night before work, Angela kissed him on the forehead and promised she would come back soon. But deep inside, she always feared something. She feared losing the little life she had built. That night felt different. Angela entered the main meeting room. It was large and cold. A long table stood in the center. Expensive chairs were neatly placed around it. She started cleaning slowly as she wiped the table. She noticed something strange. Some papers were still there. Usually, important papers were never left behind. Angela hesitated. She was not supposed to read them, but one page caught her. Big, bold letters were written at the top. Final approval, $5 billion deal. Her heart skipped a beat. $5 billion. She had never even imagined such a number. She quickly looked away. I should not look, she whispered to herself, but something pulled her back. She glanced. Again, there were charts, names, and numbers. Angela did not understand everything, but she understood enough. Some numbers did not feel right. They looked wrong. She frowned. Angela was not educated, but she was careful. Years of surviving had taught her one thing: danger often hides in small details. She cleaned the rest of the room and left, but her mind did not leave the papers. Later that night, Angela was cleaning another office. Her phone vibrated in her pocket. She froze. No one ever called her during work hours. She quickly took out her phone. It was an unknown number. Her hands shook. She answered softly, "Hello." There was silence. Then a man spoke. His voice was low and nervous. "You work in the company building, right?" Angela's heart started beating fast. "Yes," she replied carefully. The man paused. Then he said something that made her blood run cold. "Please listen carefully. A very big mistake is about to happen tomorrow." Angela swallowed. "What do you mean?" she asked. The man took a deep breath. "That $5 billion deal. It is a trap." Angela leaned against the wall. Her legs felt weak. "How do you know this?" she asked. "I worked with them," the man replied. "They change names. They fake records. Once the deal is signed, the money is gone." Angela remembered the papers, the strange numbers, the hidden names. Her heart raced. "Why are you telling me?" she asked. The man laughed sadly. "Because no one listens to me anymore, and because I don't have much time." Before Angela could ask more, the call ended. The screen went dark. Angela stood still. The building felt colder than before. She wanted to forget the call. She wanted to go home, but she couldn't. Her mind kept repeating one sentence: "A very big mistake is about to happen." Angela finished her shift and walked outside as the sun began to rise. The city slowly woke up on the bus ride home. She stared out of the window. $5 billion. A trap. Her son's face appeared in her mind. What if this affects people like us, she thought. She reached home and found Marcus awake. "Mama, you look tired," he said. Angela smiled weakly. "I'm okay," she lied. She made him breakfast and sent him to school. Then she sat alone. Her hands were shaking. She had two choices: stay silent or speak up. But who would listen to her? She was just a janitor, a single mother, a nobody. That afternoon, Angela could not rest. She checked the time again and again. The meeting was scheduled for 9 a.m. Next day, that was when the deal would be signed. Her heart felt heavy, finally. She picked up her phone. She searched the company directory. She found the CEO's office number. Her finger hovered over the screen. She whispered, "God, please help me." Then she pressed call. The phone rang. Once, twice, 3 times. No answer. She tried again. This time, a voice answered. Office of the CEO. Angela's throat went dry. I need to speak to him, she said. This is important. The assistant replied, "Do you have an appointment?" "No," Angela said softly. "But please, this is urgent." There was a pause. Then the line went dead. They hung up. Angela stared at the phone. Tears filled her eyes. She felt small, invisible, but deep inside, something stronger grew courage. That night, Angela returned to work. She walked into the building. With a heavy heart, she knew what she had to do. Tomorrow morning, when the meeting started, she would walk into that room, even if they laughed, even if they removed her, even if they ignored her, she would speak, because silence would cost too much. She looked at the meeting room door, the same door she cleaned every night. She whispered, "I will not stay quiet." And with that thought, Angela stepped forward, unaware that her next action would change everything. The next morning arrived quietly. The city looked normal. People rushed to work. Cars filled the roads. Life moved fast. But inside the tall glass building, something big was about to happen. Angela entered the building early. That day, earlier than usual, her hands were cold. Her heart was heavy. She wore the same old uniform, the same worn shoes, the same tired face. No one looked at her, as always. People walked past her without a word. Some talked loudly on their phones. Some laughed. Some complained about coffee. Angela lowered her eyes and pushed her cleaning cart too. She was invisible. Angela remembered her past. She was not always like this. Years ago, she had dreams. She wanted to study. She wanted a better life. She wanted her son to be proud of her. But life did not ask her permission. Her husband's death broke everything. Bills came. Rent came. Hunger came. Angela took any job she could find. This janitor job saved her family, but it also taught her pain. People did not see her as a person. They saw a uniform as Angela cleaned the hallway near the meeting room. She heard voices inside, important voices, serious voices. Men and women in expensive suits were already there. She stopped for a moment. Her heart beat faster. This was the room. This was the moment. She felt fear rise in her chest. What if they shout at me? What if I lose my job? What if I am wrong? Her mind was full of questions, but her heart remembered the call, the warning, the fear in that man's voice. She took a deep breath and continued cleaning. Angela's son, Marcus, came into her thoughts again. That morning before school, he had hugged her. "Mama," he said, "one day I will help you. You will not work at night forever." Angela smiled then, but now tears filled her eyes. She whispered, "This is for you, my son." Inside the meeting room, the CEO had arrived, the most powerful man in the building. He was calm, confident, focused to him. Today was a big win, a deal worth $5 billion. Reporters were waiting outside. Investors were watching closely. Everything looked perfect, but perfection often hides Danger. Angela moved closer to the door. Her hands were shaking now. She wiped the door handle slowly. A man inside laughed loudly. Another voice said, "This deal will change everything." Angela's stomach tightened. She felt like time was running out. Suddenly, someone spoke behind her. "Hey, what are you doing here?" Angela turned around. It was a security guard. He looked at her with suspicion. "I'm just cleaning," Angela replied softly. The guard looked at the meeting room door. "This area is restricted now." Angela nodded. "I'll leave," she said. She pushed her cart away, but she did not leave the floor. She stopped near the corner. She waited. Every second felt heavy. Angela thought about silence, how silence had hurt her before, how silence had taken chances away. She remembered nights when she cried, alone, when no one helped, when no one listened. She realized something important. If she stayed silent now, she would regret it forever. The meeting inside grew louder. Papers moved. Chairs shifted. The moment was close. Angela looked at the door again. Her heart screamed. Her feet felt stuck. Fear held her. Then something changed. She felt calm, not because fear was gone, but because her decision was made. She straightened her back. She left her cleaning cart behind. She walked toward the door. Step by step, people inside did not notice her, yet she reached the door. Her hand touched the handle. It felt cold, heavy, just like the decision she was about to make. She whispered one last prayer. Then she opened the door. The door opened slowly. Every sound in the meeting room stopped. Voices faded. Papers froze in the air. Eyes turned toward the door. Angela stood there, small, silent, nervous, still wearing her janitor uniform. For a few seconds, no one spoke. Then confusion filled the room. Some people frowned. Some looked angry. Some looked surprised. One man whispered, "Why is the cleaner here?" Angela's heart pounded like a drum. She could feel every eye on her. She wanted to run, but she didn't. At the head of the table, the CEO held a pen. The papers were in front of him. The final papers. He looked up slowly. His eyes met Angela's. He did not speak, but his face showed surprise. Angela took one step forward. Her legs felt weak. Her mouth was dry, but she remembered why she was here. She remembered the phone call. She remembered the warning. She remembered her son. "I'm sorry," Angela said softly. Her voice shook. "I know I'm not supposed to be here." Murmurs filled the room. One executive stood up. "This is unacceptable," he said loudly. "Security?" Angela raised her hand quickly. "Please," she said. "Just 1 minute." Her voice was not loud, but it was honest. Security moved closer. Angela felt panic rise again. She looked at the CEO. Her eyes filled with tears. She spoke fast. "Afraid she would be stopped, sir. Please don't sign the deal." The room went silent again. Someone laughed. Another man said, "Is this a joke?" The CEO's pen stopped moving. He slowly put it down. Angela swallowed hard. She continued, "I clean this building every night. I hear things. I see things." People shook their heads. Some looked bored. Some looked angry. Angela felt small again, but she did not stop. "The numbers don't match," she said. "The company names are changed. The addresses are fake." Now people leaned forward. The laughter stopped. Angela felt hope for the first time. One executive said sharply, "And how would you know this?" Angela's voice broke. "Because I saw it. Because I checked. Because someone warned me." The CEO raised his hand. "Enough," he said. Calmly, the room froze. He looked directly at Angela. "How do you know this deal is dangerous?" he asked. Angela took a deep breath. she explained. Everything slowly. Simply, she pointed at the papers. She talked about the missing details, the changed names, the wrong numbers. She did not use big words. She used truth. The CEO turned to his legal team. Check it, he said. Minutes passed. The room was quiet. Too quiet. Angela's heart felt like it would break. She waited and waited. Then a lawyer looked up. His face was pale. Sir, he said quietly, she may be right. Shock spread across the room. Someone whispered, that's impossible. But fear replaced confidence. Angela felt her knees shake. She held the chair to stay standing. The CEO looked at her August time. His eyes were different, not angry, not proud, but thoughtful. Outside the room, reporters waited inside the room. Everything had changed. The deal was no longer safe, and the woman no one noticed had just stopped the biggest decision of the year. The meeting room felt heavy. No one spoke. The air itself seemed tense. Angela stood near the table, holding the back of a chair. Her hands were shaking, but she stayed quiet now. She had said what she came to say. Now the truth was in front of them. The CEO turned to his legal team again. Check everything, he said. Every page, every number. The lawyers opened laptops. Papers were spread across the table. Phones started ringing. The confident smiles were gone. One executive leaned back in his chair. This is a waste of time, he said. We are trusting a janitor over professionals. Angela felt the words cut deep. Her chest tightened. But she said nothing. She had expected this. The CEO looked at the man. Truth does not care about job titles, he replied calmly. The room went quiet again. Angela looked down. She did not want attention. She just wanted them to listen. Minutes turned into long silence. Then one lawyer cleared his throat. Sir, there are issues, he said slowly. Everyone looked at him. The company linked to this deal changed its name 3 times in 2 years. Another lawyer added, the address leads to an empty building. A third voice said, the bank records do not match. Each word hit harder than the last. Faces turned pale. Confidence turned into fear. Angela closed her eyes. She felt relief and pain at the same time. She was right. But being right did not feel good. She knew what was coming next. Anger. Blamed one executive. Slammed the table. This is sabotage, he shouted. Someone wants to destroy this deal. He turned toward Angela. Who sent you? He asked sharply. Angela opened her eyes. No one, she replied softly. I came because it was right. Her voice was calm now, strong. The CEO stood up. That sound alone silenced everyone. He walked slowly around the table. He stopped in front of Angela. For a moment, he said nothing. Everyone held their breath. Why risk your job? The CEO asked Angela. Looked up. Her eyes were full of honesty. Because losing my job is nothing, she said, compared to living with guilt. The room was silent. Those words stayed in the air. The CEO nodded slowly. He turned to the room. This deal is on hold, he announced. Shock spread instantly. Some people protested. Some looked angry. Some looked scared. $5 billion paused because of a janitor. Angela felt weak. Her knees almost gave up. She had done it, but she did not know what it would cost her. Security walked closer. Her heart sank. Was this the end? The CEO raised his hand again. Leave her, he said firmly. The guard stopped. Angela looked up in surprise. The CEO looked at her one last time. This meeting changed today, he said, and so did this company. Angela slowly stepped back. Her heart was still racing. She walked out of the room. Behind her, voices exploded. arguments, fear, panic. But she did not look back. She walked down the hallway, alone, unsure but proud, outside the building. Angela took a deep breath. The sky was bright, but her future felt unclear. She did not know if she would return tomorrow. She only knew one thing: she had spoken the truth, and sometimes that is the hardest thing to do. Angela did not sleep that night. She lay on her small bed, staring at the ceiling. Every sound felt loud. Every thought felt heavy. She kept asking herself one question: what will happen now? She had spoken the truth, but truth often comes with a price. The next morning, Angela walked her son to school. Marcus held her hand tightly. "Mama, you look worried," he said. Angela smiled softly. "Just tired," she replied. She kissed his forehead as Marcus walked into the school. Angela whispered, "Whatever happens, I did it for you." When Angela reached the office building later that day, her heart started racing again. The same doors, the same hallways, but everything felt different. People looked at her, really looked at her. Some stared in shock, some whispered, some nodded quietly. Angela kept her head down. She pushed her cleaning cart forward. Then it happened. Her supervisor approached her. "Angela," he said seriously, "the management wants to see you." Her stomach dropped. This was it. She left her cart behind and followed him. Each step felt heavier than the last. She was led into a small office. 2 people were waiting. Human resources. They asked her to sit. Angela's hands were cold. Her mouth was dry. She prepared herself. "You caused a serious disruption," one of them said. Angela nodded slowly. "I understand," she replied. "You broke company rules," the other added. Angela closed her eyes for a moment. She thought of Marcus. She opened them again. "I know," she said softly, "but I would do it again." The room went quiet. Then one of them spoke again. "The CEO asked for you." Angela's heart skipped. They stood up. She followed them once more, this time to a much bigger office. The CEO's office. The CEO stood by the window. He turned around when Angela entered. His face was serious, but not angry. "Sit down," he said. Angela sat. Her back was straight. Her hands were folded. She was ready for anything. "You put everything at risk yesterday," the CEO said. Angela nodded. Double quotes. "Yes, sir." "Why?" he asked. Angela did not hesitate. "Because it was wrong," she said, "and because someone had to speak." The CEO studied her face. He saw fear, but he also saw strength. He took a deep breath. "You saved this company from a disaster," he said. Angela froze. She was not expecting that. The CEO continued. $5 billion gone, if not for you." Angela's eyes filled with tears. She looked down. "I was just doing what felt right," she said. The CEO leaned forward. "Courage is rare," he said, "and honesty is even rarer." Angela felt her chest tightened. She did not know what to say. "Your life will change after today," the CEO said. Angela looked up. Her heart pounded. She did not know if those words meant reward or punishment. The room was silent. Angela waited. Her heart beat slowly now, not fast. She had already faced her fear. Whatever happened next, she would accept it. The CEO looked at her carefully. "You are not trained in business," he said. "You do not have big degrees." Angela nodded. "I know," she replied softly, "but you saw what others missed." The CEO continued. Angela lifted her eyes for the first time. She felt seen. The CEO walked back to his desk. He picked up a folder. "This deal," he said, "was designed to fool smart people." Angela listened closely. "They count on pride," he added. They count on silence. He looked at Angela again. You broke both. Angela's hands trembled. She did not understand. Where this was going, the CEO took a deep breath. Then he said words that changed everything. I want you to work with us. Angela froze. What? She whispered. Not as a janitor, the CEO said calmly, but as an internal observer. Angela's eyes widened. I don't understand, she said. You understand risk, he replied. You understand details. And you listen. Angela felt tears fall. No one had ever spoken to her like this. But first, the CEO said, I need to know something. Angela wiped her tears. Yes, sir. Will you be honest? He asked, even when it costs you. Angela did not think. Yes, she said. Always. The CEO smiled for the first time. Outside the office, news spread fast. The deal was canceled. Investigations started. People were fired. Some people were arrested. The company was saved. Angela returned. Home that evening, she hugged Marcus tightly. Mama. You're smiling, he said. Angela laughed softly. Yes, she replied. Because today, someone listened. Marcus looked confused, but he smiled too. The next morning, Angela walked into the building again. But this time, things were different. People greeted her. Some said, thank you. Some looked ashamed. Angela walked. With her head high, she stopped near the meeting room. The same door, the same place. But she was not the same woman. She took a deep breath and stepped forward, not as someone invisible, but as someone who mattered. Weeks passed. The company was not the same anymore. Meetings became quieter. People listened more. Pride was replaced with care. And at the center of this change was Angela. She now worked in a small office near the top floor. Nothing fancy, just a desk, a computer, and trust. Every day she reviewed small details. Every day she asked simple questions. And many times she saved the company from small mistakes. Angela never forgot where she came from. She still greeted the janitors. She still thanked security guards. She still smiled at people no one noticed, because she knew how it felt to be invisible. One afternoon, the CEO called a company-wide meeting. Everyone gathered in the same room where everything had changed. The CEO stood up. He looked around and said, a company is not built by titles, it is built by truth. He then looked at Angela. This woman saved us, he said, not with force, not with power, but with courage. The room filled with applause. Angela's hands shook. Tears filled her eyes. That evening, Angela went home early. Marcus ran to her. Mama, you're home before dark. Angela laughed. Yes, she said, and I will be more often now. They sat together, they ate dinner, they talked simple moments but priceless years later. Angela's story became part of the company culture. New employees heard it on their first day. They learned one lesson. Never judge a person by their position, because wisdom can come from anywhere. Angela looked at her son one night. He was doing homework. He looked up and said, Mama, I want to be brave like you. Angela smiled. She hugged him. You already are. She replied. Final lesson for audience. Respect every human being. Listen before you judge. Courage can change destiny. Truth has power. No matter who speaks it sometimes, the voice that saves everything is the one everyone ignores.